Hear my voice, O God, in my meditation. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret plots of the wicked, from the rebellion of the workers of iniquity, who sharpen their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the blameless. Suddenly they shoot at him and do not fear. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They talk of laying snares secretly. They say, who will see them? They devise iniquities. We have perfected a shrewd scheme. Both the inward thought and the heart of man are deep. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly they shall be wounded. So he will make them stumble over their own tongue. All who see them shall flee away. All men shall fear, and shall declare the work of God, for they shall wisely consider his doing. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord, and trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. My name's Arthur, and I thank you for joining me as we share together Psalm 64. A psalm of David, and it's a common theme of David strengthening himself in the Lord in the face of enemies who pretend to be friends, but are out to trip him up, out to set a snare, a trap for him. And the opposition that he faces is words, bitter words, the weapon of the tongue, the things that people say. When I was a child, there was a frequent saying, sticks and stones will break your bones, but names will never hurt you. And in one sense, this is right. Names are just words, and words won't break your bones. But words can break your spirit. And this is why Jesus said, whoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of judgment. Whoever says to his brother, Raka, shall be in danger of the council. Whoever says, you fool, shall be in danger of hellfire, because that's akin to murder. You are attacking their spirit. This is as real an attack as an attack on the body. You might be able to run away from an attack on the body, but you often can't run away from an attack on your spirit by the words people say. So how does David respond? He can't shoot the enemy or retaliate because they haven't done anything. According to man's regulation, people are able to say all kinds of things, and provided they don't actually hurt you physically, then they can get away with it. Hear my voice, O God, in my meditation. David is meditating on God. And as we've said, meditation is not just vacating your mind of things. It is thinking through the stories of the things that God has done, developing your understanding of those things, whether it's the creation or the flood. All of the stories in the scriptures are designed to be meditated on, to be struggled with, to be thought through, to put yourself in the position of each of the players and see how they are thinking. And in this way, you prepare yourself for the situations you will encounter in your life. So David thinks through the stories he knows from the scriptures that he has. And we have many more scriptures, we have many more stories to teach us that we might respond appropriately in our walk. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. You know, the thing that Satan seeks to build up is fear. That's why he is behind the terror attacks. It's not that many people are going to be killed by car bombs, but it is a tremendous fear technique. And the investment that's been put into making planes safe, every time the terrorists think of a new target, society makes a huge response to handle the fear component. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret plots of the wicked. So these plans that they make are secret. You do not know them. You do not even know who your enemies are. People that you thought were friends turn out to be enemies. Judas, one who walked with the Lord Jesus, was the one who betrayed him. And so we have warnings in Jesus' teaching that in the last days, even your own family will betray you when you stand for the Lord Jesus. So hide me from their secret plots, from the rebellion of the workers of iniquity. Who are they rebelling against? They're rebelling against God, but they can't actually do anything much against God, so they pick on his servants, who sharpen their tongue like a sword. They work out ways to hurt you with what they say. They bend the bows to shoot their arrows. Bitter words, angry words, hurtful words, false words, belittling words. And a person who speaks this way, you know, is an enemy of the Lord. That they may shoot in secret at the blameless. They don't always say these words publicly, but behind closed doors, to undermine and to spread rumours about someone who is doing the right thing. They shoot at him and do not fear. And they encourage themselves in an evil matter. So they talk together and share these bitter words and spread the rumours against. So David had the experience when his own son Absalom started saying, well, my father's not doing a very good job. It's time you appointed me as king and put him aside. And many people followed that rumour, so that David was temporarily dislodged from his kingdom. But God protected him. They talk of laying snares secretly. They work out ways to trip up. And you don't realise that the circumstances that you're in are artificial circumstances, exactly designed to trip you. In the last few days before Jesus was crucified, his enemies came to him with plausible questions that they had struggled to come and answer with, and they brought them to Jesus that they might trip him up, that they might find fault with him, that they might disgrace him before the crowd. They were laying snares for him. But secretly, they were pretending to be righteous. They were pretending to be genuine. They were pretending that these were real issues for them. No, they were political issues that they had raised to trip Jesus up. And they say, who will see them? Well, of course, while men may not see, there is a God in heaven who does see. They devise iniquities. They have perfected a shrewd scheme. Both the inward thought and the heart of man are deep. We do not even understand our own thinking and our own mind. And to perceive what's going on in somebody else's mind is something that is not possible for us. But the Lord knows. The inward thought and the heart of man are deep. So David is calling on the Lord for protection and help. Hide me from these things. I cannot see them, but they are there and they are out to destroy me. And so he concludes, God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly they shall be wounded. God is David's defense. David cannot act himself. He does not act himself. It is not his position to act himself, but God will act for him. So he will make them stumble over their own tongue. They use their tongue as their weapon, and their tongue will be their downfall. All who see them shall flee away. All men shall fear, and shall declare the work of God, for they shall wisely consider his doing. Men come boasting of their power and their ability, but in the end they do not deliver, and others learn from their error. It's not the man who boasts of what he can do, but the one who does and succeeds, who is rewarded in the end. And we should learn from the failures of those who boast. And when the Lord shoots at them, when they trip over their own tongues, the righteous shall be glad in the Lord. The righteous shall trust in the Lord, and all the upright of heart shall give glory to the Lord.